Okay, so I decided to try my hands at TWILA, the girl who was in love with the vampire, but I couldn't actually find an original copy of it, so it was taken off of FFnet. So I'm going to be reading off of somebody else's sporked copy, which I am planning on skipping the sporking. So I'm going to try and just read it, but the link at the bottom of the page is going to be for the version with their sporking included. Alright, so without further ado, TWILA, the girl who was in love with a vampire. Chapter 1. Hi, my name is TWILA, beautiful psycho topaz, not Colin yet, cause I didn't meet Edward yet. And I live in Washington with my sister Midnight. We live in a dark house that is far away from everyone else, and we are vampires. We feast on blood, and no one else knows that we are vampires. Not even our mom, which is why we moved away to be by ourselves. Yes, we are loners! I go to a high school, and everyone thinks that I'm really hot. I have straight black hair and topaz eyes, and my sister Midnight is the same, except she has magenta eyes. I wear lots of black makeup on me eyes, even though I have dark circles under me eyes. And okay, if you think that's lame, then fuck you. Edward has them too, and Stephanie Mears said he's really hot, okay? I didn't like anyone at my school. I am a misanthrope, and look it up. That means I hate other people except Midnight. One day, I met a really sexy vampire named Edward Collins. He has really white skin like me. He is Satan's gift to this planet. And I don't believe in God. I am an atheist. I think Satan created this universe. God bless you, Satan. You are always in me heart. So anyway, I met him in the school, and he was with some fucking ugly ass biatch named Bella Swan. She was so stupid, and she kept falling out of her seat. Edward looked at me like, what the fuck is this girl doing? I smelled at him sexy and adventurous, and he knew right away that I was a vampire. I could tell from his eyes which were the same color as mine. Hey, he said, walking away from Bella. There were some gay-ass ghetto people in his way doing the Soldier Boy crank dance, and he just looked at them with his deadly eyes, and I ran away. I really had clicks, and get people think they are cool. I give them the middle finger in the hellways, and it's like yeah, stop now, right? Anyway, Edward and I sat together at the lunch table, and Bella started off with that poser Jacob. Ed didn't pay any attention to her at all. He told me all about how he is a vampire, and his dad Carlos wanted to meet me, and his sisters Alice, Rosemary, Jasper, and Emmett. Loved me right away, and his mom Isme wanted to meet me too. So we quit school early and went to his really big house in the woods, and Jasper is really big and muscular, so he just knocked down all the trees in the way. When we got there, Carlos came to the door immediately. He gasped in surprise at my beauty. You must be TWILA, Ma, you certainly are attractive, he teased me seductively. Ed, Jasp, Emmett, Ellison, and Rosaline all growled at him angrily, all such because they liked me too. Besides, it wasn't fair because he was already married. Yeah, that's me, lol, I told him and bowed, and that's what they do in Japanese because it's polite. Nice to meet you, I said. So I hear you're a vampire. Come in my house and we can talk about it. I was so excited, and I ran in quickly, and everyone followed me. We were already friends. End of chapter 1. Please, guys, tell me if it's good. Chapter 2. Flammers, back off, okay? Me English is fine. You don't have to be a biatch about it, you fucking homos. If you lick Bella, I said not to read, cause you will be offensed. I read this book a lot of times. I think I know their names. And whatever you say, don't diss Tara Gillespie, okay? She's a fucking great writer. Okay, here's chapter 2. Chapter 2. When I walked into the house, Edward disappeared and then appeared at the piano. He's a vampire, he can do that. He started to play famous last words by Me Chemical Romance. I started to sing in my beautiful voice. Well, I know that I can make you stay. Well, then where is your heart? Where is your heart? Everyone gasped, even though they were vampires and didn't have voices like me. Out of nowhere, they all jumped up and tried to tag off my clothes. What are you doing? I screamed. Their eyes were red and they had all turned into savages. Then they stopped and confused. Sorry, TWILA, Edward said. Sometimes when we see someone we can't resist, we turn into beasts. It won't happen again. Putting back on me cloth. It is okay. A lot of people are attracted to me, I explained. They all understood. It must be your blood, said Carlos in horrified. Beauty, you have the most rare and exotic blood in all the world. Every vampire will want to drink it. It's much better than that other girl's. What's her name? That bitch's name is Bella, said Jasper, growling. Midnight hugged him so he wouldn't get too angry and up her in Bella's house and strangle her with one touch of his finger cause he's really strong like the Hulk. TWILA, I would need you to marry me, suddenly screamed Elise, who was a plebeian. Edward roared at her, furious and all protective, and suddenly he transformed. OMFG, no! I shouted because I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Ed's shirt bursted open with muscles. His topaz eyes turned pure black with strength and energy, and he jumped up at Alice. TWILA is marrying me already, he said with his voice was booming and all the windows exploded and the glass rained down like in that Avril Lavigne video where she punched the mirror and all the glass flies out around her. He started to fight with Alice to the death over me. Guys, I suddenly compromised it. Guess what? Sorry, I'm not a lesbian. Alice started to cry, tears of blood. Why are her tears blood? I asked, all curious. Oh no, this is bad, said Emmett, who had been in the bathroom the whole time. When we cry our tears of blood and the blood of our victims, she is losing blood now and she will be thirsty again. Run! Alec tried to jump at me and tear my flesh, but I moved out of the way when she attacked Rosemary and said who was pretty, but she wasn't as pretty as me and her throat flew open. And blood poured out everywhere and Alice ate it. Oh, me Satan, I said heartbroken because I caused so much trouble. Edward just laughed. It's okay, babe, he said and kissed me for the first time. He had turned back from Black Ed to White Ed, and he's like Hatsune from Fruity Basket. And he was calm again. She's a vampire. She'll just come back to life. So they sedated Allison, and she fell asleep, and Rose came back to life. We had Burger King for dinner, because I had to hurry. And then I went home thinking of Edward the whole time, and how his flaming hot lips felt on mine. His body was so warm and I couldn't wait to see him again. End of chapter! A.N. Thanks for the reviews. Oh, no, okay. That was the other person. Okay, people who review to say shit about me story can go fuck themselves. Yes, that sounds more accurate. My story is believable. You just have to keep reading and you can see why. One, but two people who gave me good reviews. Thanks, you guys rock. 333, love you. Chapter 3. Hey, bitch, what are you doing home? Midnight asked. You have to promise not to say anything, I said nervously. And Midnight laughed and said, who would I say something to? We are loners, remember? Oh yeah, I said, and told her everything that happened. She gasped when I told her about Edward kissing me. So wait, she screamed. Are you guys in love now or what? Yeah, we are going to homecoming together. I showed her my black dress with lace and leather and my spiky black shoes. Edward says he likes these. We laughed happy together and danced around the house. We were so happy for me. I sang Teenagers by MCR. Then the door knocked. Twill, where are you? Someone asked from outside. I went to the door and it was Allison. I screamed, "If you fucking try to suck me blood, agent, it'll get Ed!" I told her. She burst into tears. Midnight quickly jammowed up to defend me, but I told her to go away because I could handle Alice. "Okay, why did you come here?" I said. Allison's bloody tears didn't scare me. I knew she had enough blood to last because of when she attacked dead Allison. "I felt so bad for trying to drink your blood," she strictly cried. "I wanted to apologize with a present. All I want in this world is Edward, and I have him, so nothing you can give me matters," I scoffed at her. But then she held up 2 tickets to an MCR concert. OMFG! 111. I was static. I grabbed them from her and gave one to Midnight. Actually, Allison whimpered out, "One was supposed to be for me, so we could go together. But I wanted to go with Ed." I shouted. I imagined his beautiful face with his black eyeliner and black lipstick and his sexy body. "Okay," Allison said. "We can just take my whole family. Esmet really loves MCR too." So we went to the concert, and Ed and I had intercourse on the way. Everyone thought we were so cute. "This night walked the dead!" screamed Jared Way. Then Evie and Atkins came on. They sang a duet with MCR. Then they sang some more stuff. And it had an exclamation in the audience. And suddenly he turned into a bat. "Oh shit, no!" Edward sighed. "This is bad too, TWILA. This is really bad. All this bad stuff kept happening while I was with them. Vampires turn into bats when they are really excited, and everyone would know his secret, but no one cared because they were all goths." Jared looked at him from the stage, and he jumped down through the crowd and came over to us. He bat, he said in his fucking killer voice. I screamed so loud. Because I love Jared with all my life. His makeup was ruined because he was crying because they sang Helen. Then he glanced at Esmet and twitched his wings and he turned back. Jared went home with the Cullens because he and Emmett became BFs because they fell in love. I was so jealous, but I got angry and told him I loved him, so it was okay. We all went home and I got Gerard's autograph. End of chapter. Please guys give me more reviews. I think this was a really good chapter. Chapter 4, author's note. Okay people, I'm not the troll. I'm a vampire, okay? Get it straight. Thanks for the people who gave me good reviews. You guys rock. Chapter 4. I was walking down the hallway in school when I saw Edward with Bella! She was asking him something and crying all over the place. What is going on? I snared and Edward hugged me and said, It's okay, I was trying to ignore her but she wouldn't go away. Please, please, Edward, she cried. I really want to go to homecoming with you. I go every year with no date and now I'm in love with you and I want you to be me date. I see of you, Edward said. Can't you see that I already have a date? This is my GF TWILA. Yeah, you better back off, I told her. Otherwise, things might get messy. She ran away screaming. So, have you seen Esmet? I asked him. He wasn't in homeroom today. Yeah, TWILA, he transformed out of the school so he could go on tours with Jared. But he's a vampire one. I was shocked at this. Yeah, but you're a vampire too, Ed said. Oh yeah, I said. Author's note. I didn't forget. I was waiting for the right time to bring it up, Eden. So we both turned into bats and flew to class. No one noticed. When school ended, I went into my car and drove home. When I got there, my sister was getting married. OMFG! Are you getting married to Jazer? I could not believe it. Yeah, she smiled. I love him, and he is going to live with us now. I started to cry because Ed and I weren't married yet. Midnight tried to hug me, but I shot her away. Because her life was so much better than mine. I'm already 16, and I'm not married yet. Tears swam down my beautiful face. Suddenly, they all shouted, "Surprisey!" Midnight and Jasper weren't getting married. It was for me and Ed! And they got married the next day instead. No way! I was so inflated. Edward and me had an atheist ceremony in my house. So we were husband and wives. Midnight, Jasper, Esme, Emmett, Jared, Rose were all there. But so was Alice. I hope you're not mad that me and your brother are getting married, I said to her gothically after the wedding. I told you that I don't lick you that way. I'm not Les. Sigh, she knew. So we all went to a party and had lots of blood. Then we went back to me house. Someone rang the bell and I answered it, making out with Edward. Why did you marry him, you ignoramus? Shouted the guy at the door. It was Bibby Brown. It was Bibby Brown. He ran in on his wheelchair and Jacob floated him. Don't you dare touch TWILA, snotted Ed. Everyone came to see what was happening. Why would I touch her? She's heinous, he glared at me. That's it, now I have to kill you, boomed me husband. He turned into a savage, licked the time I went to his house. I told him to stop because I needed to talk to Bolly and Jacob. He stopped. Okay, why don't you want us to be together? Why is our love so bad for you? I cried. It's because I can't say it, said the guy in the wheelchair. Just speak it out, everyone said. He began to cry, hysterical. Maybe this song will help you understand. He started to sing in his crampy old voice. Well, I miss you so far, in the commission of your kiss that made it so hard. Well, Jared was furious because that was his song and he started to attack him because of copyright infringement. And I didn't own the lyrics to the song either. There was a big fit and I started to cry. Oh no, you're in love with me, aren't you? And Bobby ran away from Jared and said, yes! Edward killed him. End of Chapter 4. Author's note. If you're leaving me long as reviewers on why I ruined your life, then sorry, get the fuck over it. I am going to keep making chapters, and if you report me, then you're a loser. I'll just make a new account. Anyways, thanks to the people who gave me good reviews. Agent, you guys keep me going. Please enjoy Chapter 5. Chapter 5. We didn't know what to do with all the blood from Bobby Brown, so everyone just drank it off the floor. We had win games and shit. And Jacob left because he was angry at us for some reason. We played it, spin the bottle, and Jared had to kiss Ed. And lullaby guys are so hot. I wasn't jealous because they were both guys, but Emitter was depressed because Gerard is his BF. We listened to Green Day and he got cheered up. I was going to sleep that night when I got possessed by Satan, but it was okay because we were friends and he just does that sometimes as a joke. I asked him what he wanted and he told me to kill Rosemary. What? Why? I knew that Ed would be angry if I killed his sister. Because she is a blonde prep, said Satan suicidally. So I went to their house in the dark and I knew which was Rosalind's room because the door was pink with pom-poms hanging from it and a poster of Hilary Duff. I broke down the door, but inside was Edward. What the fuck is going on, you asshole? I screamed, this is your room? No, let me fucking explain. He began to cry and then I saw Rosa was on top of him. Ew, what the fuck, you bastard? That's your sister! I exploded. I transophed and began to tear the room apart and ripped all the preppy posters down. I jumped at Rosalie and and bit her neck, and she started having a seizure. Then she ran around and died. Ed kept crying. "This is disgusting," I said with disgust. "I can't believe it. You and Rose." "Just listen, okay?" he pleaded. "I couldn't sit in the dark. I thought she was you." "Yeah, right. Like I believed that. We are getting a divorce." I was so pissed. But then Edward got on his knees and sang, "If you marry me, will you bury me? Will you carry me to the end?" And I remembered the promise we had made over that song when we got married. We said we would always be there for each other. "Okay, fine. This is your last chance, bitch." I ran out of the room and saw Carlos in the hall. "Hey, babes." He laughed. "I'm so much better than Edward. Why don't you come upstairs with me?" But I just ran away sadly because everyone wanted something from me. The next day was a bad time because it was awkward between me and Ed, and plus Midnight was in the hospital from slitting her wrist because Jasper had called her a slut. He was getting really moody all the time, and he acted jealous around me and Ed all the time. I asked him about it in school. "Hey, the fuck did you make my sister slit her wrist?" I roared. He sighed with the prison and said, "I'm just not in love with her anymore. After you killed Alec, I saw your true strength." "What are you saying?" I didn't understand. "I'm saying that I would rather be with you than her, so I was hoping that she would kill herself and we would be divorced." "OMG, I would never be with you in a million years. You're a terrible person," I said with tears of blood pooping down my pale face. I was wearing violet fishnets with safety pins in them and a red corset with a black vest over it and a pentagram and lots of safety pins and tight black jeans. Michael, J-Bob, Bella, and Jessa were all gathered around us. Jas was so embarrassed. A lot of the teachers came over and stared at me. "TWILA, please report to the principal's office," the teacher said strangely. So I followed them and the principal was there. And he said to me, "I'm sorry, but we're going to have to transfer you to a different school." "OMG, no," said loudly. "I can't. This is where Edward goes to school." "Yes," they admitted uncomfortably. "But you're causing a really bad disturbance in the school. You see, there is something odd about you. And no one feels comfortable with you here, so you have to go to that other school in Washington called Mount St. Preps Academy." I couldn't believe it. I was never going to see Ed again if I weren't there. I jumped out the window and ran home and took out a knife and cut myself. There was blood all over the floor and I fell down and started to die. To be continued. End of chapter 5. Okay guys, sorry for the cliffhanger. I will update soon. Reviews, thanks. Chapter 6. A.N. Okay, you know I whack preps? I'm going to write my story better so you guys can stop complaining about Chad's speak. So now you will have nothing to flam about, ha ha ha. And by the way, stop telling me to use spell check because I'm using Notepad and it doesn't have it, okay? Midnight, thanks for the good reviews and everyone who gave me good reviews. You guys rock. Tata Glisby, I love you. Prep, stop flamming. One Goth Rock 666. Chapter 6. Continued from the last chapter. When I woke up, the word was over me. "TWILA! TWILA!" he screamed to my ear. "You're going to be okay." My long straight hair was all around me. I was laying on the floor. I was wearing a black spaghetti strap shirt with a matching sweatshirt over it and a black jean skirt with MCR pins on it. I had on ripped fishnets and black high heels that had spikes coming out of them. They were bandages all over my arms and my body where I cut myself. You could see the blood coming through. "Just fuck off, okay?" I said with a sad smile, and I started to cry. He tried to comfort me. He had his bronze hair in spikes with purple streaks in it, and he had on white foundation on his sexy face. There were tears raining down his topaz eyes. "No, please, tell me why you did this," he shooted. "I don't want to effing talk about it, okay? You can just back the fuck off." I was so depressed. I got up off the floor and tried to run out the door, but Edward stopped me. "Wait!" he whispered. "There is someone waiting for you out there. It's not safe." His voice got all low and hot, like a male version of Amy Lee in the beginning of Gone Under. But I really need to talk to you, I begged pleasingly. Listen, I can't stay in this school anymore. We can talk later, watch out! She's about to break down the door! Suddenly I turned around and the door smashed down. It was Buffy the Vampire Slayer! And thanks for the suggestion! Ahaha, don't even bother, she said meanly. You can't escape from me, TWILA, beautiful psychotopaz, sadness, Colin. But I was too angry to even see her. You know what, Edward, you never pay attention to me. Why don't you just go to Emmett so you guys can screw, because you obviously don't care about me. No, please! He got down on his knees with dark tears of sorrow. Give me another chance. Do you remember what I said that night? He looked at me all confused and said, and Buffy started to take out her sword. I said one more chance and I meant it. Now you can just get the fuck out of me life because you only hurt me. I took off the pentagram he had gotten me, and just before I was about to throw it out the window, he ran over and hugged me and started to sing Crucifixion in Space by Marilyn Manson. That song was so touching and I had to forgive him. Excuse me, where were we? Laughed Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, looking at us. Look, if you don't get out of here, I'm going to post these pictures of you screaming Angel on the internet, I shooted. She got scared because she didn't want to end up like that Perez Hilton. A lot of other stuff happened. And then Edward went home. We were still marred, but I didn't get to talk to him about transferring. I went home and listened to Panic at the Disco and put on a black nightgown and put my hair up in a black skull clip. I went to take a bathe, but when I got to the tub, I saw Edward! How did you get in here? I asked shockingly with anger. I transported I have telekinesis and like Voldemort from my immortal love. So we took off our clothes, and you guys can guess what we did. Yeah, you pervs, get your minds out of the clutter. The next morning, I woke up, and I couldn't believe it. OMFG, Ed, wake up right now, I screamed. He drove over to my house to see what was wrong. I'm pregnant! I was crying. I started to cut my wrists over the bandages with a razor. Just then the phone rang. It was the principal saying, TWILA, you're going to be late for your first day at Mount St. Preps Academy. That's it. This couldn't be any worse. I flew into my bed and kept crying, and my pillow turned red and black with makeup and blood. You're going to Mount St. Preps Academy? Edward yelled. I was trying to tell you that last night, you idiotic AIDS. I couldn't take it. My life was absolutely terrible, and I have nothing left to live for. Edward tried to calm down and hug me, but I punched him away. Please, it'll be okay, he promised. But I didn't believe it. I just wanted to watch The Ring and overdose with aspirin and pot. I started to sing, How Could This Happen to Me by Smipple Plan. Smipple Plan. Ed wept and wept, and if you don't love sensitive guys, then fuck off. And I fell asleep having nightmares about preps and babies. And chapter 5. LOL. I bet you didn't expect that. Well, you will have to wait and see what happens. Okay, so that's all the time I have for this afternoon. So I will pick this back up as soon as I have the chance to. I gotta go to work. Bye.